big fireball. More fire. More fire.
Here we go, guys. This is episode 21 of the United Forever podcasts. I'm Sam Spanner, and I'm here with my cousin
Adam.
Adam Shagham. How's it going, matey?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Just kind of experiencing a little bit of lockdown. So
Yes.
it's kind of fucked up, but this kid in my daughter's class at school apparently got tested positive for the Rona, so the whole of her class has been sent home for 2 weeks, which is shit.
Yeah.
So, but we're not confined, but she's technically confined. It's like some weird like loophole thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Our COVID rep at work, has said that I've got and my boy, we're still allowed to go to work and school, which is kind of weird, but
doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah, no, I don't get it. But anyway, that's that. So we're partially confined, and then obviously we are confined to everyone else because there's this fucked up lockdown thing. So, but mate, I was going to say, right, I know we've got to talk about some depressing stuff, but oh no, I was going to say about this TV series I've been watching, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. But before I do that, I'm just going to do a couple of shout outs. So, obviously, rest in peace to our club legend, Nobby Stiles, passed away at the age of 78. And, grateful for all his contributions. Another couple of shout outs to some quality fan channels, to one called FSID and another one to the JTG Productions. So both of these are basically some YouTubers that are doing some like proper pucker video editing, and videos dedicated to our United players. So I've been so impressed. I mean, the JTG stuff has just been amazing. The Champions League videos, we're talking about maybe 2-3 minutes, but still, it's like proper epic. And also FSID's done some really good stuff of Rashford's skills and neat footwork, and also why McSauce is a beast. So yeah.
Okay.
So mate, so shout out to them. So yeah, good stuff. Doing a little bit of marketing for them. So
without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt.
And obviously we don't expect anything in return. So yeah. No. Mate, I don't know if you've seen this series yet on TV called The Boys. It's on Amazon.
Right. No, I haven't. No.
Mate, that's just you're just in for a treat. It's fucking hilarious. So basically, it's about do you know what's the actor called who played Eomer in Lord of the Rings? Carl Urban. I don't know if you remember that actor. This proper butch Kiwi bloke, and so in The Boys, he's playing this Cockney bloke. So you can still, even though he's putting on a Cockney accent, he still cannot he still cannot lose his Kiwi twang, sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
But he's just funny as anything. Because yeah, exactly. That's the one. And mate, it's just so fucking funny. So it's this really, really fucked up comedy based in America, right? So it's this weird like situation where there's all these superheroes, but they're all fucked in the head, all the superheroes, and he's trying to bring them down.
Right.
Like there's this revenge plot, and I don't want to give away too much information, but the characters are absolutely brilliant. So the superheroes work for this big corporation in America, and basically they're trying to be top of social media and everything, and like be really marketable and stuff when they're all head fucks. And so he's trying to uncover all of their flaws and stuff and all the dark shit that goes on. And he's just going through the series, just saying, he's calling everyone a cunt and a twat. And it just really sort of clashes with the Yankee sort of stuff, mate. It's brilliant.
Mate,
There's some
links
other
us in well
brilliant
to the United.
characters. Yeah, exactly. Oh, totally, mate. If Carl Urban was, what's his name? He's called Billy Butcher, the main character.
Right.
So if he was in charge right now, mate,
Yeah.
he'd be calling old Avram and all the other pricks, cunts, and twats. But oh, mate, you're just gonna piss yourself. And there's
I'll
some
get
other
on that.
quality characters like Frenchie. Yeah, no, mate, we've managed to see the 8 episodes over the course of the week, and mate, you're in for a treat. There's 2 seasons, which is brilliant. So we're going to start the season 2 over the next few days. So sadly today we lost 1-0 at Old Trafford.
Yes.
And I think, please correct me on this, have we only picked up 1 point from a potential 12
Yep.
this season at Old Trafford?
Yep.
Which is
Depressing
really,
as
really
well.
sad. It is, but we're still going to try and be as upbeat as possible. So obviously, the format, mate, and anyone that's been listening. And so, mate, what was this? Our mate Ollie, we love him to bits and everything.
Yeah,
he's got some impressive stats over 100 games. And
definitely.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, right, so he's apparently our 3rd best manager over 100 games. And I know people will be laughing at us, but I do want to show him some respect.
That's it. I think, isn't it a win rate of something like 60% or something?
I don't think it's that high, but I think he's still got like 56 wins or something, which is pretty
sorry.
shy of what we just said.
Confused with the wins of the games to the percentage win. Yeah, no, that's what I was getting confused with. Yeah, something like that, isn't it? Yeah, so it's not too bad.
But I just want to say that, I know a lot of people in the fan base failed to recognise the dire state the club was in when he took over, and he's done some amazing runs, and he's achieved some brilliant sort of consecutive wins and stuff. But I just feel so sorry for him, mate, because we've got some really, really radical, nasty fuckers in the fan base.
Yep.
So, but we try and do a good, bad, and ugly, mate. I don't know if have you penciled in any other goods apart from all the dire shit that happened.
I have, but before I crack on with any of that, I've got a question to ask. Right now,
mate, I'm not going to smell your toenail. Sorry.
Are you sure about that?
I ain't going to lick it.
That's a David Arnold special, that. No, not really.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right now, I'm never going to be an Ollie out. I'm never going to be an outer because, I respect the bloke too much, and if he does eventually get the boot, it is what it is, and I can safely put my hand on my heart and say I didn't want him to go, because he has had a shit hand on this game of cards that is Man United. However, I've got a question for you. Right now, I was going to send you the question earlier to try and prep an answer, but then I'm glad I didn't. So I want you to not doubt your answer, and putting you on the spot.
Yes, mate.
Will get the most honest answer. Now, the question is this: how big's your penis? No, not really.
Oh, mate, I'm hitting the middle age, so I'm sort of like keep finding a bit of a peanut, especially when it gets cold. Sorry, mate. Keep going.
Right, okay.
What's the question?
The question is this: do you firmly believe that Ollie can turn this team that we currently have around and win the Premier League in the next 2 seasons, after what we have seen since the start of this present season?
Fucking hell, that is a very, very strong question. And I'm going to say, if we're saying with this team, that's quite a close question. So basically, we're not expecting any grade A signings because the board have just fucked up this very, very long summer, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of the longest transfer windows we've had. So I'm going to be direct, mate, and I'm going to say no. Ollie will not be able to win the Premier League with this team, especially when you've got players that are incapable of being sold. You've got Pogba, who's got a fucking ringmaster above his head, Raiola, who's just a fucking prick. Then you've got you ain't got proper like depth. I mean, we signed a number 7, Cavani. You know how I feel about that. I'm not a happy budgie at all.
No.
So I'm going to be honest, no. But do I think he can win silverware? Yes, I do. I think he could, get the Carabao Cup. I think he could get the FA Cup. I think there's even a shy chance. I actually think there's more of a chance of him winning the Champions League than there is of the Premiership.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's how mad it is, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's stupid. Because
crazy.
if you get teams like Ajax that can get to the semi-finals, if you get teams like Red Bull that can get to the semi-finals, teams like PSG that can get to the finals, why the hell can't we win? Sometimes it's down to pot luck and a bit of Fergie time, having some cheeky subs, bring on Sheringham and bring on Ollie. Yeah, mate, magic. So
definitely. Okay, so
there's always romance, and there's always romance in the Champions League.
Well, definitely, I agree with you. I do like the Champions League. So basically, your answer is no, he can't with this current team that he has.
And no one else, absolutely no one in the world can do that with the board we've got. We're not going to see us winning the league if the board don't fucking get out the checkbook and back the manager properly. So I'm sorry, mate.
But exactly, and I'm going to add to that point.
Quick.
I'm going to add to that point now, right?
Mate.
Just look at Man City. Just look at Man City, right?
That's just
they're just they're shy at the moment. They're not doing very well, etc. This season's so meta. You're going to see a season where it's going to be another Leicester City win the league this year. Someone like that is going to win the league this year.
You reckon?
Yeah. Not Leicester themselves. I don't think
Klopp's going to do it.
I don't know, because I think he's going to fall apart come the new year. I think something's not. They've got a couple of injuries and stuff like that, or he might very well win the league, but it's not going to be how he won the league last season. It's literally going to be points. Do you know what I mean?
By the last pubic hair.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. So
fucking hell. I mean,
yeah.
Good. Have you got any goods, mate, that you want to mention?
I've got 2. Just the fact that McTominay still not taking no prisoners, hard tackling. However, I thought he played very average again today. It wasn't his best game.
I agree.
But he was still going in aggressively, which is what you need. But there wasn't anything to write home about with that. I thought there was a few good bits of link-up play to Greenwood from I think it was from Fernandez. I think he put a through ball, or was it Marcus put a ball through to Greenwood and he nearly scored.
Yeah, that was Marcus, mate. That was a beautiful panger, diagonal ball. But
and that, to be honest with you,
so
that's all I can say. That was good out of the game, if I'm honest. How about yourself?
Yeah, I've got a couple of goods as well, but I mean, I've been really, really critical of Dave between the sticks, but I think even though we lost, he still looked confident. I'm going to say the word confident because his head ain't been in the right place since the last World Cup. But I think
No.
some reason this season, with the pressure of having Hando on the bench, he's a changed person. So I'm just going to give him a little pat on the back, but not a massive one.
And at the end of the day, with the
people are going to
goal,
laugh at
it
me, but I
wasn't his
actually
fault,
thought,
was it? You know, it's a penalty. It's
of course not.
50-50.
No, we're going to touch on.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, the bloke has got a woeful penalty saving record anyway. But he ain't Tim Krul or anyone like that. So, or even old Van der Sar, you know, he won us the Champions League with that famous save against Chelsea. But I think also the centre backs, our centre backs, I know they've received a lot of stick, but I think I could say the fridge and the freezer, I think they've been all right. Slabhead and the ice man.
The kitchen.
Yeah, I think yeah, just the kitchen appliances. They were okay. So I think it would be safe to say, right. So apart from that, you know, in going into the bed, I think as a collective, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that I actually had a conversation with my colleague Jake after the match, who's an Essex boy, but he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And, you know, he gave me his commiserations and everything. And I just think that what hurts is I really cannot fight back after today's defeat.
Yeah.
In the debate that, you know, he reckons Arteta's a better manager. Arteta's won 2 pieces of silverware, domestic silverware, and sadly, you know, that's a 2-0 aggregate. But the thing is, Arsenal haven't been great themselves, because I was listening to Stephen Howson as well, and he did mention that Arsenal hadn't won or hadn't beaten any team from the Big Six away from home in 29 games, which is a woeful stat. So
definitely,
oh mate, I think there's I'm kind of like dribbling at the minute. I can't get my words out properly. So maybe you want to give me one of your bets.
The thing is, like, quickly touch on, Arsenal didn't play well today. You've got to remember that, right? When you look at it, like, Lacazette, he was swinging at the ball in the area, totally missed the ball. You know, he swung for the ball with his left foot and he just spun around on the spot. Aubameyang, again, wasn't brilliant. A couple of bits of play here and there. Who's the geezer they signed from Chelsea on a free transfer? The Brazilian bloke, midfielder.
Will I am?
Filthy bastard. Filthy bastard. That's all I'm saying. He was going out his way to try and pick up free kicks and get United booked, which he succeeded on several occasions. So Arsenal, you know, it's not a case of Arsenal played brilliant and Man United played shite. It was a case of it was just a poor game.
No.
Now, going on to my bad, there was no pace in the game again. We were playing so slow. It was sluggish. There was no speed.
Yes, it was.
Shaw was continuously passing either sideways or backwards. And overall, and I quote, was piss poor. We were playing out from the back again, and I touched on this against Tottenham. It doesn't work. We need to stop it. Now, the problem is it worked against Leipzig midweek, and it semi-worked against PSG. For some reason in the Premiership, it's not working. You need to be more direct. But the team wouldn't have been set up today to be able to achieve that because you had no width. Because it was all being played down the middle.
No width whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I felt sorry for McSauce because he couldn't do the right midfield role by himself.
No,
It
exactly,
doesn't work when you've got a narrow formation.
that's it. It's and I
So
don't. I think I mentioned on the last episode that for the formation today, I would have preferred to have seen the diamond. He's set up in the diamond, but now
yeah,
people are going to go, you're just saying that because we lost. But yeah, looking at it, it wasn't a good idea.
yeah.
We should have stuck with the wide, and it might have been a different result. But it is what it is.
I mean, one
My,
thing that annoys me
yeah,
is we didn't try and dribble past. We don't have people, especially wide players, that are willing to dribble
yeah,
and
yeah,
take risks. Getting past their defence, because I don't think they've got a good defence. When you look at
no,
Rob Holding, I
yeah,
think, what the fuck? Who's this punk? And
yeah.
he needs a
He's
haircut
got
because he's receding and he looks like a right old 90s defender, if you know what I mean. Just needs a fucking moustache and he pulls it off totally. Sorry, mate,
exactly.
I cut you off there.
No,
So
no,
you were saying in your final bed?
yeah. My final bad was the fact that we took Fred off for Matic. There was no point in that
Yep.
substitute because it is just literally replacing the same player. It's like for like, and that was not a
Yeah.
sensible, substitution whatsoever. Um,
Yeah.
Taking
I
Fred
mean,
off and putting Mata on
it
would have,
wasn't a yellow card.
yeah, but even still, he could have potentially got through the rest of the next half hour
Yeah,
without
I know
getting
what
a
you
booked.
mean. I
But
mean,
I would have taken
yeah,
Fred off and put Mata on. At least it would have given us some form
yeah,
of like attacking option. But again, there
yeah,
was reasons for that that we're not privy to, are we? So I don't know.
no. And I think Arsenal were better at the darker arts in the match,
Yeah,
Like Stephen Howson said after the match that we lack cunts in the team.
that's it.
You
Well, I
need
don't.
people that are willing to take the rule book to the extreme, and get
Yeah.
away with dirty shit.
Now, is it the fact that we
But
we we lack them in the team, or is it the fact that because Ollie likes to be so squeaky clean that he potentially takes that
yeah,
out of
that
the
might
game plan and out of the
he's
tactic?
yeah, it could be that, mate. Could be
Because I
that.
think
I
you look at
mean,
it, you've got people like
Marino's a bit of a
McSaw.
master of the dark arts.
Yeah, you've got
Yeah,
McTominay, Pogba, Fernandez. Fernandez has got bastard written all over him, isn't he? Really, just the fact that he's a psycho.
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
reckon. I reckon
yeah.
Greenwood
Exactly.
on his day would knock you out. I think
Yeah,
Maguire could be a dirtier player, but I just don't
yeah,
think that they're being told to be aggressive. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, even Lindelof, mate. You've seen him lose his
Yeah,
head and scream at people.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's got a squeaky clean haircut as well with his side part, and I'm thinking, mate, just do it a zero all over, mate, and then you'll look
Yeah,
like a psycho. Go
do a yap
Vidic,
stand,
mate. But
Vidic.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, totally.
yeah,
I mean, he could pull it off. He's got the tattoos, he's got his sleeves, on his forearms and stuff.
exactly,
So
exactly.
the diamond. I mean, even Joe Smith on a paddock was saying like how fans were screaming out for the diamond formation. We got it,
Yeah,
but obviously we're all learning on the job. I mean, this is what's sad. Ollie's learning on the job, and as a fan base, we're learning on the job. We're
yeah,
seeing sort of formations being broken down or
yeah,
being completely clinical.
yeah.
So,
That's it.
I mean, what I miss, mate, is proper wide players
Yeah,
and true wingers.
yeah,
I can't really say this too much, but I mean, I'm in the ugly now. I'm saying if we ain't got proper wingers and the board ain't backing us with proper wingers like your Sanchos and stuff, then I'm sorry, we're limited. We cannot push for the title. Answering
yeah,
your question again, so
yeah,
I feel really fucked off that Cavani got the number 7. He was just a shadow of his former self.
Yeah.
And Sancho should be in the team, and we could like tweak the formation and go more gung ho at times, especially when there's a boring match where the opposition's neutralised us, because they did what Chelsea did. They neutralised us.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't too fussed about taking serious risks.
No.
And the fucking referee, mate, he bottled it.
Mike
Why
Dean.
the fuck did he not get his yellow card out? The second yellow card. When Greenwood did a beautiful bit of trickery there and got past Gabriel, and Gabriel fucking hacked him down, and he didn't even get a fucking yellow for that.
I know.
That should have been a second yellow, but Mike Dean is just a fucking Sunday League referee. I'm sorry, he just needs to, I don't know, just think about changing his day job,
Yeah, that's it. But
so
right now, my ugly,
yes,
basically
mate. Toenail.
Sorry. I'm going to send you a picture of that later, and you'll love it.
Oh, mate, go for it.
It's a continental hangover, right? Back in the day, right? I know I don't like living in the past, but this is one point that and I'm not going to, continue to talk about the past. But the one thing that I'm going to draw on the past is this: back in the day, Fergie
jumpers for goalposts.
Yep. Fergie would have played a different team at the weekend after the midweek European game, right? To limit the fatigue of the players.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
We are playing the same team week in, week out. Ollie needs to use the depth of the squad. He needs to trust some of the other players. I don't mean like players like Lingard, because as far as I'm concerned, he's done now. He's never going to put on a red shirt while Ollie's there, right? But there's other players there that can be used. Tactically, again, we were very poor today, right? And I've said it earlier on, I'm never going to be an Ollie outer, right? But unfortunately today, the in-game tactics or the lack of was down to him. Now, we've had this conversation in the past about pre-game tactics and pre-game selection. I don't think he has full control over who he can pick and how they play. However, in the game, he can, because no one else can have an influence on him, because people aren't allowed in his technical area and stuff like that. They have to sit in the director's boxes, etc. Right? But the in-game tactic comes down to him and him alone. Yeah, and Phelan, Carrick, and McKenna. Right. So again, that was very poor. And it was just, it is what it is. So he needs to play two different teams, one in Europe, one in the Premier League. Now the problem, I've come to a conclusion here. He still could not tell you his best 11 at the moment. He's nearly coming up to 2 years in the job, and he can't give you his best 11 because two reasons: the form of players and the fact that he hasn't been backed in the. I know I keep banging on about it, but he has failed to be backed in four transfer windows now. Or was it three or four transfer windows? He hasn't been backed, and he can't. If you were to, if someone who was very close to Ollie said, "What's your best 11?" he wouldn't be able to tell you, and you can see that because he's playing the same 11
back five.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. The back five is pretty standard,
but then I think, to be honest with you, Maguire's not indispensable. Shaw is not indispensable. We need to maybe drop him for a couple of games. But that is what it is. And overall, the squad seemed tired again, because they're playing their hearts out in the Champions League because they don't know if they're going to be in it next season again. And this goes back to our previous point a few episodes ago about the little graph that we had of the board back the manager, get in 3 or 4 players they want, get European football, don't back the manager,
Yeah.
sack the manager, sign another manager, and then they just, do you know what I mean? So that's the problem. And
Totally.
yeah, the squad isn't being rotated enough.
I mean,
And the proof in
no.
that is the fact that he brought Fernandez off on 75 minutes. Fernandez is a player you need.
Instead of Pogba.
Yeah, you need Fernandez on the full 90 minutes, regardless. Pogba shouldn't have started, but because he's had a couple of good European games, he started him. But that is what it is. And
he's done all right, I suppose.
But my
But
last
Pogba
point
was
is
shite today. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Definitely. But my last point is this, right? In January, Pogba needs to fuck off to Madrid. End of. That gets rid of all your problems in one.
Yeah. But I cannot see that happening. I'm so sorry, because they're going here in Spain, the teams are being literally stretched to their limits. Barcelona apparently yesterday have done another plea to their players to take a 70% pay cut, because there's a chance they could go bust within a year or two, We're talking about one of the biggest clubs in the world going bust.
This is it.
Apparently they've got to give Messi this huge bonus if he walks away on a free next year. He's got some weird fucked up like goodbye payment package, like gratitude bonus thing.
Yeah.
And I just cannot see how they're gonna survive it without tourism and all that, and filling the stadiums even at 30% capacity. It's just not going to happen. And then Real Madrid, mate, they haven't signed anyone, and if they sign anyone, they're saving their pennies for Mbappe, because he's the one that's going to be the game changer. Because Real Madrid are pretty loaded. When I say loaded, not in money terms, but I mean in sort of player terms for competition in midfield. So Pogba would not come in as a Galactico signing, I'm sorry, because he's just been too inconsistent for the past few seasons. And he's Roy Keane, I can just see him getting fucking livid. He's got fucking nerves bursting in his temples. He'll be like, he's only just gone and fucking pushed Ollie under the bus again, So sorry, that was a very poor Irish accent.
I'm not like, I've just said about getting Pogba to piss off to Madrid, right? But you've got your two options. You've either got that option, or if I was Ollie, I'd say to Roy Keane, "Can you come on board for me? Come on board with me for the rest of the season, and then see what happens."
Yeah. But he can't, because we've got the All-Father, which is Fergie's in the office upstairs, and that would be one massive sign of disrespect towards Fergie, because their eternal conflict.
Yeah,
and
but
I don't know. 2 years ago, Keane was in an interview and he just brought up all this shit again, and he was saying that he will not talk to Fergie until Fergie openly apologises to Keane. So Keane is stubborn as anything, whereas Beckham gladly played in that charity match, didn't he, last year, and he scored that beautiful goal against Bayern Munich. And he said he ain't got any beef with Fergie because that was all water under the bridge, which I think's the honourable sort of thing to do.
It is.
So,
but I think Keane would be the way to pull some of these prima donnas' heads out their asses, because he would literally kill you, wouldn't he? If you didn't do it right, he would.
He would.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
But I'm going to ask you this, mate.
Yep.
I mean, sorry, before I ask you the question, obviously Pogba, mate, did a stupid Sunday League tackle on his wrong side and everything. He's let the team down. We more or less sort of portrayed that in through our words. But looking forward to our Champions League match midweek against Istanbul. I'm not going to try and say the full name because I ain't got a clue how it's pronounced. And it's Istanbul B, we'll call them. So, have you got any preferences to your lineup? Do you want to see a revamped lineup, or do you want to go in with?
Yeah, I
don't know,
do.
mate.
I want to see the same formation as PSG. The problem is
back three.
But then, I would go with Maguire, Lindelof, Twanzebe. On the left, I would go with Williams because Shaw's just pissed me off again, so he can do one.
I'd agree.
In the centre, I would go with McTominay and Fred. On the right,
Stop. Hold the phone. Hold the phone a minute. Let me just remind you and the listeners that our final match is against Everton, isn't it? Before the next international break. So Everton's next weekend. So we've got to bear in mind we've got a 3-day rest again after the Champions League match. So So you've gone for putting Twanzebe in as part of a back five. Obviously, you're keeping Wan-Bissaka, Spider-Wan, right back, and you're putting in Williams. And I think Williams would be fired up for this, mate. I'm completely backing you on this. Fred and McSauce, or would you put Matic in and rest Fred maybe? I don't know.
No, Fred and McTominay.
You're going for the dynamic duo?
Yeah, and the reason why I haven't, why I've put Williams in the back is because obviously Tellez is still going to be out with the Rona. So I think,
mate, confined.
Because if he wasn't, then he would have been playing. But no, I think. But in the middle, McTominay and Fred.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you're sticking Bruno up front, right? Or you're going to put Van der Beek in?
Right. How I'm going to line up? Hang on. So, and what we've got at the moment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So you've got your
3 more. Right. Okay. Then I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Mata on the right. I'm going to go with.
Hold on, you can't go with a right-sided because you've got 5 at the back, mate.
Sorry,
I made this mistake the other day, didn't I? When I was doing the lineup for Arsenal, I'll put
So I'm going to go
put 12 players in instead of 11.
So I'm going to go with Van der Beek.
Yeah.
And you're not going to agree with me on this, but I'm going to go with Cavani, Greenwood.
Yeah, all right. Even Tony will be fresh to play.
All right, then Tony Cavani. That sounds like an Italian fucking mafia boss, doesn't
it? It does, mate. Tony Cavani. Fair enough. I mean, that could be interesting if only on the condition that people are going to be whipping in balls from the wings.
Yes.
Because if they ain't, then Cavani is going to be a pointless target man.
Exactly.
I cannot see Cavani being able to run around for 55 minutes, but we can have 5 substitutions though, which is good.
Yes. And
all right, no, I'll back you up on that, mate.
The wingers would have to cross the ball from deep, so from just inside the opposition half. Yeah. Quick early crosses.
Nice.
That's what and deep crosses as well to the opposite post. So you've got the player coming in from the side, coming into it rather than from behind it. If that makes any sense, yeah.
Totally, mate.
I'm
following what you're saying.
Right. So how about you?
So I would probably say Greenwood and Tony up front.
Right.
To start off with, because I want Rash to be fresh to play Everton. I'm going to say probably the same as you, mate. but there ain't any chance that Mengi's going to get into the starting lineup. But
No.
I mean, once we've
Too dangerous.
achieved the 9-10 points, then Mengi can make an appearance.
Agreed.
But yeah, no, I'll go with that, mate. And then after 50, 55, 60 minutes, then maybe swap Fred and McTominay for Matic and Pogba, I suppose I'd have to. Or just drop Van der Beek down with Matic and then
what I would do, I'd
bring
bring on
Bruno
Matic and Bruno. So you got Matic, Bruno, and Van der Beek. That's what I would personally do.
Okay. Yeah, fair bet, mate. Fair bet. So I'm just hoping that the fan base are not going to have Alzheimer's and forget about Ollie's miraculous achievements against PSG and Leipzig, because there are too many radical flip-floppers.
That's unfortunately, I know what you're trying to say, but unfortunately, from what I've been reading this evening, it is horrendous. I'm having arguments with people left, right, and centre.
It is.
I've got some dickhead that I'm arguing with on Facebook currently. He goes,
facial book.
Yeah, he's basically going as kind of Allegri because he's had enough of Ollie's management. From Ollie's management is pathetic, and he hates watching them play with Ollie as manager. And basically, I replied with,
"Oh fucking hell."
And I was like, so Allegri is the way forward, really? It's just bullshit,
Oh, you mean Allegri, mate? Hold on a minute, sorry, mate. This is a full-on fucking onion Baja moment. Fucking hold the phone. Allegri. You're talking about Massimo Allegri. Fucking. Oh my God, mate. I've just got to shed some light on this moment. So when we ordered our first ever Indian takeaway as kids, we didn't have a fucking clue what we were ordering apart from the poppadoms. And you were like down the phone, and can we order 2 onion Bahas instead of bhajis? Oh my God. No, I'm going to go a step ahead of myself now. And I don't know if you want to sort of take the piss back at me. I can actually just recognise the fact that when we were up at the gardening centre around the corner as kids, we were sort of in a phase where we were trying to plant stuff.
Yeah.
And we'd bought some plants. And then when we were on our bikes going back home, you were like, Sam, hold on a minute. Fucking stinks. Smells like some kind of curry house. And I was like, but I bought this plant because it looks really cool. And it's a curly plant. And you're like, mate, you fucking spanner. It says curry plant. So
yes, mate.
Fucking curly plants, onion bars, and aligiris, and eagleos. Mate, we should wrap it up on that. That is a positive way to finish the show. So, what are your closing words, mate?
I am a retard. I was run out.
Fucking hell, assholes, mate. See you later, chronic masturbators. Fuck me. Allegri.